let's go settings. Webcams. Okay. But yeah, definitely glad to see you feeling better, and definitely good to be back. Starting scaling program. Let's go ahead and delete this. Alright, so once we go video live and we get ready to rock and roll, we'll have someone just do a quick recap of what occurred last time. And we'll just hit the ball rolling. We were gonna have Kai join us, but obviously everyone knows what's going on with Kai, so hopefully next session he'll be able to join us and we'll have our 5th player. And I gotta remember to make little buttons for each of you guys, so let's just go slubs.
I know Tom knows, but I don't know if you guys do. I am here and I'm participating, but I gotta cook dinner, so.
Just as long as you share some with all of us. That's all we ask. Just share some with all of us. So let's just go.
Well, I'm making Chinese, so General Tso's, some sushi. I'm gonna make some romaine as well.
Yeah, then you definitely you need to definitely send some my way. I may give you a 1d6 inspiration. How do you appease the DM? Bring him snacks, right, Bogart?
Yep.
Yep. Well, let's go ahead and bring us into...
I'm going to bring you a plushie.
Oh, you know, it's funny, Cassandra, while you're here, you may be here long enough that you'll be able to stream from our place. Ah. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's make sure I got all the mics working. DM mic, okay. Noise, so... Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I need a...
Book Guardian.
Book Guardian. Okay, well, I've got us video live. Sadly, Dave is not feeling the best, and she is caring for our tiny human. I have decided to at least start the session off where we ended last week at the Goblin encampment after combat. You guys did some looting, but who wants to do just a quick summary of what occurred last session for what it meant, or what occurred?
Go ahead.
We all made it to the same little town. We got 3 different choices of jobs in the area. We all decided on one of the jobs, headed out to tackle it, and came across these goblins. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it wasn't much that, you know, the goblins didn't have much as far as... I don't think they had a crazy amount of gold, but, you know, you still were able to get a little bit of gold, and maybe some weapons. And stuff like that. And I had this realization, Shelby, and you're gonna laugh at this. As you guys are traveling to Phandalin, from Phandalin to Gnomengarde, Valkor, you and Dave have been talking. Just because of the drastic size difference between the two of you. And with a little bit of a mischief and a little bit of a giggle, Dave looks at you, Valkor, and goes, so how are we going to handle being in a gnome cave? Because most of those guys are maybe 5 or 6 feet tall for their caverns.
I guard the cave. I didn't, in real person, didn't think about that. I'm like probably 3 times the size of what that cave is going to be, aren't I?
You're what, 9 feet tall?
Let me pull it up. I think I'm like 8 something. Let me pull it up. It's been a minute since we played. Let me get.
Filled up the size sheet. You put yours as 8'5".
Yeah, I'm massive.
I'm gonna save that image as well.
So as
I
you
forgot that I did that.
yes, as you come into that realization, you just see Dave just trying to laugh as hard as he can, like to sound like a human, and he goes, "So it looks like everyone else is gonna have at least somewhat of an easy time getting around. Maybe the goblins will have, or maybe the gnomes will have a way of bringing you to appropriate stature."
Gert's gonna have to crawl.
I just see this,
If Gert's 5'9",
yeah, but
you
that's,
either be a hunchback or crawling.
well, I'll say if Gnomengarde uses 6 foot tall caverns, because they're mining, Bogart would be able to walk through. Well, Fabian, excuse me, would be able to walk through relatively easily. But it may make combat a little odd. So let's just go here.
Even if I was to crawl, I wouldn't be able to do any combat crawling, would I?
You could punch forward with the axe, so like javelin them.
Would that work?
It would knock them unconscious, at least with the flat head of the axe. That would still hurt to get hit with that dang thing.
True.
Yeah.
But it would come at a disadvantage because I'm pretty much crawling on all 4s and having to basically lunge out.
Yeah, you'd be like stuck.
Yeah, if the cave is even wide enough for your shoulders. But we'll
I
see
didn't
when we
think
get
about
there.
wide. Oh,
We'll see
this
when
is a
we get there.
problem.
We'll figure it out.
You might have to wait outside.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, that's... Welcome to the brain that is your DM. So, after, probably after about an hour or two, you finally get up to Gnomengarde.
No!
No?
I told you I wanted something at the camp.
Okay, so that's... Fire away, the table is yours.
I see tent poles and I see campfire poles. I want to see if any of those poles could be used to fix the wagon. Because we have to get sides on that thing, and those poles look like they might actually work to fix the frame.
Okay, so let's go this route then. And let's see here. You are... Let's bring Leshira up over here. Good thinking.
That and that tarp thing on, and we could put it inside the wagon as something to hold down as well.
So
what they use.
as you walk up to the little encampment, the fire's still going from the goblins. And this is exactly what you see. And say if you have the video ninja up, you should have a pretty good view of it. You see the tripod set up for, cooking stuff over the fire pot. You see a lean-to style tent that sadly your husband may have used in the military during basic training. It's that type of setup, just tactical type, quick up, quick down, meant for, just fast moving.
That's perfect. I can just cut those little bit of ropes holding it together, grab those poles and put it on the wagon, and we can axe them to fit the spots.
Yeah. So if there's anything you want to take from this, go ahead and take it. Whether that, you could take all of it, you could take some of it, you could take none of it.
I'm not taking your cold.
Yeah, sorry about that. I may go grab some water though. But go ahead and narrate out what you're stealing. I meant tactically acquiring.
I am going to take apart the campfire teepee and grab those 3 long sticks. They look like they're thick enough to hold up the sides, and then the 2 poles that are holding up the front of the lean-to. That shouldn't take up too much room in the wagon, and it should be just enough to fully fix that spot so we get our gold. Well, Bogart gets her gold back. Oh my goodness, Dave does. Sorry.
Dave.
Yeah, so Dave can get their gold plus bonus. But if I get those 5 sticks, I think they should be good quality. Well, they look goodish at least.
One, as you, compared to your size, because you're the tabaxi, correct?
Yeah.
Those sticks, you can wrap your hand around. They're almost as thick as like a staff. So they've got some heft to them. So
I think we might only need 4 to fully fix the wagon if we do the 3 from the campfire and 1 of the tent poles.
the other thing
Then
is,
we don't have to try to find anything on the ground. Wait, how thick is the tent pole though? If the sticks on the campfire are like the size of my hand.
So the ones with the campfire, they're like, you can wrap your hand around them like a staff. They could be an improvised weapon. The one for the tent, they're about 75% thicker.
Do we even have part of the siding of the thing, or is it completely gone on the wagon to kind of guesstimate sizing?
Let's see. Now you're making. How dare you? So as you're looking at this wagon, this side right here would be missing. So you have one side up, the other side's missing.
So how thick are those poles on the other side so I can try to not go over the top? Would that be like the same staff size as the campfire ones?
Potentially, yeah.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Is the lean to the actual part, you have poles and then this part that leans, which makes it a lean to?
Yep.
Is that made of cloth?
The top cover would be like a canvas.
Why don't we just use that maybe? Instead of trying to put the poles, just put the canvas up?
Well, because they specifically said they wanted the sides back on it.
Oh, true.
So maybe we only need the campfire poles, because then we're not lugging the extra super heavy one. But if I grab those 3 campfire poles, that should be enough to, even if we mess up one of them, we'd have enough to finish the frame. So that would give us a little overage and not be super huge. I was only mentioning that canvas because it might be useful later if we had to hold something down that would fall out.
Yeah, let's do it in the court.
Yeah, so the canvas and the campfire poles. The TP campfire poles.
Okay. So I will leave it up to you guys to remember, keep track of your own inventory.
All right.
Or whoever's keeping track of the card or all that, the bigger gold.
And is there any other problems with the cart, or is it just
It was just that missing side.
missing side? Okay, the wheels are fine.
Yep, the wheels were fine. The other one
Alright.
had the messed up wheels.
Well, since Dave is on the floor now, I think we need to re-tie him up there so that we can continue on, so he doesn't fall off.
That's fantastic.
I thought of all this and I've been remembering it for a month.
Bravo. Alright. Sad that Dave wasn't going to be here. He had a song he wanted to sing. Alright. So, back to the craziness. Couple hours, you finally make that last bit of journey to Gnomengarde. The thing that happens to Dave when Dave is not present, yes. Okay, let's bring... I thought I had you set up as daytime. Let me quickly change the atmosphere.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, that's about right. Default sky... Let's go... I had all of this set to daytime. Why are you not wanting to go to daytime? Sometimes software makes me go crazy, you know that? Did you think that you'd have... I had to delete this quickly. And... default sky... Well, as you come out into Gnomengarde, you begin to see this massive, just the valleys coming up together. You see the river coming down through from the mountaintop. And this, oh, I gotta do this route. And let's just pull you guys into over here. Pull Fabian over. Leshira. Come on. Why is this not doing this? Oh, okay. Across the way. Let's bring this down. Here. What's your time of day? Ah, there's where it is. Your settings. That is the one thing I wish that they would stop doing, is quit turning on time of date. GM mixer. Morning, noon, afternoon. Especially since I ran through all this on Friday too. I'll leave it at that. That'll work. Still allows you to see everything. As you walk into Gnomengarde, you see the stairwells coming up and on the right hand side over here. Kind of across the way. It just, you don't see much, but you can hear faint sounds of just clinging, like hammers hitting it on metal on an anvil. From what you know, the caves of Gnomengarde were carved into the mountain just southeast of Phandalin, The stories of it being near a waterfall, you can definitely see as you look past the bridge. The knowledge that of Gnomengarde is the rock wizards who occupy these tend to form strategic alliances with their human and dwarf counterparts as needed. Even though they are reclusive and secretives, their minor magic items have been known throughout this entire region. What isn't known is how many times they have failures trying to create these items, or the successes, or the extent of all their successes. Especially since these gnomes have seldomly strayed from home, and they rely largely on this mountain and all of its surroundings for all the food. Oh, that's where this is. I want to delete that guy. Okay, so where did Dave go? What is going on with my Tailspire? That is super annoying. I may lose my mind. Oh, it did it all hidden. That's the reason why. So, Valkor, as Dave kind of alluded to, you can see these stairwells. You can also see that they are going to be fairly steep. And also narrow. As you look at these, what is going through your head? Being that you can tell these stairwells are maybe 3 feet wide.
So I'll look at the stairs, kind of look down, look back at the stairs, and look at everyone else. Too big. What? What should I do?
You can wait here and I can scout ahead a little bit, see if there's maybe another way.
Because it looks like stairs, do they look like crumbly? Like if this 8'5", 200-pound giant was to step on them, would they crumble?
So, as you're looking at them, they're carved into the side of the mountain.
Okay.
In fact, even as Fabian's saying, talking about scouting ahead, you see some movement coming from the top of the stairs. Let's go up to here and let's grab this
Would
guy.
I be the only one to see it?
You would, yes.
Okay.
And
And this is before he starts to head up the stairs, or as he?
It's right as he's hitting the base of the stairs. As he's hitting the bottom of the stairs, you hear a shout of, "Stop! Who goes there?" And you see it coming down more, a little bit quicker. By about the time this voice repeats that third command, it's almost in view of everyone.
Okay, I stop moving forward and tell him we're merely travelers. We mean no harm.
many people travel to Gnomengarde unless they are looking for something. So what are you looking for?
We have a job here.
A job? We have not solicited anyone to be employed.
Out of character question, does Dave still have the paper?
Now you're making me wonder. Let me check. Probably does. More than likely does.
That's gonna be a problem. If Dave's the only one with the paper.
Oh, let's just do.
Well, the job wasn't listed from them, so
Was it not from them?
Nope, it was not from them. It would have been from
it was like a
Harbin.
rating thing.
Hmm.
It was from the job board, you know. So let's pull.
It almost looks like a raid.
Almost looks like a raid. Okay, so let me go to the.
It was in the chat, right?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
let me see if I can.
There it is.
Yeah, basically, we're trying to meet with these gnomes. They're known for their magical inventions, and they might have something with which to defeat the dragon. We're trying to bargain to get whatever we can from them, and if we bring something useful back and don't want it, Townmaster Harbin Wester will pay us 50 gold pieces. So it's mostly basically a diplomacy quest.
Oh, so it could go either way on that.
Yeah.
Are the gnomes threatened by the dragon as well, though, or are they safe in their little mountain?
So from what people have gathered as far as the dragon is, it is going around and just been doing patrols for food and eating. There hasn't been an established pattern yet, so the answer to your question is maybe. They may be safe, they may not be safe. Based on the size and of what's known about gnomes and their, in this case, you know, probably 5 or 6 foot cavern, they probably would be safe, but there's no definitive answer.
No, so
It could be going after their food source too, though, because you said that they use the mountain around them for their food.
Yeah, as you guys were traveling around the mountain, you know,
Sorry.
you saw various forms of mushrooms. Anyone that's done any, you know, like most rangers that are one with nature would know that there's a lot of different varieties of edible mushrooms that you guys have seen. You've got the different small animals that you would have seen on the travels, such as the rabbits, some small deer, some small bear, some boars. They're able to get pretty much everything they want from to be, you know, to stay secluded and to be reclusive.
So how does he react? And actually, I'd like to say after greetings and whatnot, I want to say we come seeking to barter with you. We are merchants, if you will.
A barter, eh? Barters can bring many good things that we don't see very often. We may be able to barter. We thought originally you came to help us with a couple of the kings have kind of lost their mind. We thought maybe you'd come that way, but barters are good.
May we pass and speak to any interested parties? Maybe we can come to some sort of deal. We are seeking valuable items to aid in the fight against this dragon that's been terrorizing everybody.
Yeah, we can talk about it, barter. As you see the gnome just continue coming down the stairwell, he finally gets to the group, so he isn't shouting so much. And he looks at Valkor, and he goes, I may be able to help you out, though, because obviously not many giants come to the dwelling of a gnome. And you almost feel like the sound of like some of the people that can do that whistle with their fingers. He lets out a series of those whistles that just echo throughout the entire valley. And he goes, just wait a second. Just wait. A couple minutes pass, and a smaller gnome comes by, and he's carrying this really, really strange contraption. It almost, what we would think of it like a 22 pistol. But back in this era, we're working on trying to figure out a way to make sure that everyone has the same advantage when it comes to size. If you catch what I mean. This should be able to bring you down to about 5 feet tall if you want, Valkor. Make you a little more, or Mr. I should say Valkor, excuse me. Looks at the giant and goes, we may be able to make you a little more comfortable while you're throughout the cave. May want to let you know that we don't know how long you'll be smaller, but at least you can stay with your party.
Ooh.
– That's so dangerous.
So ominous. So ominous.
We were testing it yesterday on a 6-foot bear, and the bear's still 1.5 feet tall.
From yesterday's moon, she says, very louder than expected.
Everything else has come back to size. It's just not always at the same cadence. The longest that we've seen so far is 4 days. The shortest has been 4 hours.
Has any not turned back size?
No. The weirdest one is most of the time it brings everyone down by half to a third of their size. The weirdest one is someone was the black bear, and that went to 1/4 of its size. That was weird. But everything's always gone back to the original size.
Every time you've used it, has the time gone steadily larger, the amount of time they're stuck in the smaller size? Because you've said lots of different sizes. Has it changed each and every time in a steady rhythm, or has it been going back and forth?
It's been random.
Can we keep the gun with us so that we can do it again if she gets stuck?
I will make sure that it stays on me at any time.
Valkor paces back and forth. It's very concerned about the sizing.
You'll maintain all your other physical attributes. Just you'll be smaller.
If Valkor doesn't feel comfortable with the sizing again, it's okay to say no and just wait back at the entrance. We're not going to push you into doing something that's kind of iffy like that.
Agreed.
Valkor takes a couple steps forward towards the gnomes and kind of leans down. Will it hurt?
No one's ever told us it hurts.
Have you ever used it on a sentient being and not just an animal?
Gnomes always test that on ourselves too.
How small did you get?
You don't want to know. I got down to a foot tall.
Oh, adorable.
My voice did not match my body.
I guess where Valkor kind of takes a seat, I guess, on the ground. Where at?
Where at, you mean? Like, where at do I fire to shrink you, or
Yes.
you stay here? I can
Where
fire...
a shot.
Typically center of the chest, and I'll fire in 3, 2, and before he says 1, he fires. And your entire body, you just feel it shrinking down. So... And he brings you down almost to 5 feet even.
Hang on. I've got stuff on my hands, but she'll like look. Didn't ask beforehand. Is Dave still on my shoulder when this happens? We
Yep.
did not. Okay.
Yep. Dave's still on the shoulder. And you just see...
Dave didn't get shrunk, did they? Dave just looks big now.
Dave just... Yep, he's half the size of Valkor. And you just see him laughing. Just in pure mischievousness. And
Dave is laughing?
Yes.
Oh,
and
God.
He's like, well, maybe I won't need my proprietary elevation platform as much. And I'm just gonna make a note of this.
Are my clothes still big?
You look like a 5-year-old wearing your dad's shirts.
Adorable. Okay.
That is the image that everyone sees, is just, a 5-year-old in his dad's long sleeve shirts.
Oh,
The
walking around in the
closest
big
one that would
boots.
fit, like, if you could borrow, would be if Fabian had an extra pair, because you guys are about the same size now.
Yeah,
So-
you can-
The rock gnome looks at you and goes, see, I told you, wouldn't it hurt? You should still be able to do all the crushy stuff you did before, just smaller. But you mentioned barter. Let's talk on the way. So let's go ahead and let's bring you around over here. So you're right here. So as the group goes up the stairs, and you're going up through the building set, I'm just going to use one gnome just to make life simple until I need to bring everyone back. He brings you up to this almost like from where you guys are sitting, you didn't see the entrance. It was just perfectly hidden, camouflaged into the rocks. But as he brings up through the stairwell, you just see this small entrance, and it's barely 6 feet tall, barely 3.5, 4 feet wide. Like, Valkor, as you see it, you literally can just breathe a sigh of relief, because you know that you would not have fit any sense of that word. This is not my Gnomengarde map. Okay, let's pull up my other Gnomengarde map. I thought something felt off. Give me a second. The gnome looks at you and goes, so you mentioned bartering. What are you looking for? Is there a... Are you looking for weapons? Are you looking for magic items? What do you bring to the table?
Well, we're looking for both, actually.
You mentioned
Magic items, weapons, anything we can use to hopefully defeat this white dragon's been plaguing the Sword Coast.
It's here. Right there. There's where I want to be. And yeah, we have been hearing rumors of a dragon. Haven't seen her around here quite yet. But should always be prepared. Let's bring this back down just a hair more. And you guys should be right in here. Yep. So as he brings in the cave, you definitely see one of the weirdest. It's a weird light. Like, everything's kind of being illuminated almost by like different, vials and magic items, and like almost like mushrooms that they've been playing with iridescent capabilities. And this, where is? I swear it's a bad guy. That's the one I want to keep. That's the one I want to keep. Okay. And it's been a day. I apologize.
Sorry.
It brings you in right over here, and you can hear the various noises that they're just echoing more and more throughout. The gnome looks at you and goes, now, as we're walking through the cavern and through these caves, please be careful. We experiment with everything. As such, if you are not careful, I am not going to be able to guarantee that you are safe. So, follow my lead, keep your hands to yourself, and if you touch anything, we'll be escorted off the premises unless we tell you to touch it. Everyone got it?
Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So as he's bringing in the very first room that he goes, so you want to talk to someone about bartering. Let's work our way through, shall we? very first thing that he comes against brings you. He goes, we'll just go through the caves, but just be careful. As he brings you in, the very first door that you see a table that has several crossbows on it. And by several, you see bolted to the floor a rotating platform with 4 heavy crossbows that are reloaded, what you can assume to be automatically. For anyone that's paying attention, you can see that each of the crossbows almost has a magazine of sorts that holds 20 bolts. And above that is a chair equipped with pedals that contains for lack of better words, a contraption that can spin counterclockwise with all sorts of levers. You see a gnome on top. He's trying to work the different levers. You see him firing across the room. One lever you see changes crossbows. He pulls it back, pushes another one forward. Another one is reloading the crossbow. You can also see that it's quick. Fabian, you're a ranger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your character, I'm guessing, uses crossbows quite a bit. How long does it take for an average ranger to reload his crossbow to fire?
I think it takes a whole turn.
So about a 6-second turn. You're seeing this guy reloading them in a fraction of a second. Which probably would, it just instantly grabs your attention.
Yeah, excuse me, a round. Yeah, it would take a whole round for me to reload a crossbow. All right.
Yep. So this type of invention, you can keep in the back of your mind as something that, to barter with if needed. As you guys are entering the room, the person on the front of they're sitting above the crossbows, doesn't see her counterpart, the other rock gnome. And you see her swing her chair over to look at each of you, and goes and orders you to try to stand down. This is her territory. And she takes and fires one of the crossbows and puts it right at the base of your feet.
Puts the crossbow at our feet?
She fires a bolt. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm assuming I'm right behind the gnome.
So you've got as the party's going through the entire room, you've got everyone's kind of bustled together. So let's build this up just so and I need to go here.
And I'll just put my hands up.
Go forge.
And stop moving forward.
Fabian, Dave, and Valkor. What am I missing?
Leshira.
Leshira, there we are. Get these all downloaded. I'll have to move this map over to my other one. But as she's coming around, Dave's being mischievous as always, so that's the reason why the rock gnome that was guiding you was not ahead of the crowd. Dave would have walked in right here, just trying to assert the fact that he's a human that knows what he's talking about. I don't need don't need anyone to tell me what to do. The rest of you guys, though, having some common sense. Valkor. GM tools. Oh, good. That did shrink you down.
I figured Valkor would be as close to Dave as you could stay. As she could stay.
But it would make sense with Dave being in the front. He is very human-like, I guess.
Yep. So the very first thing that would have happened was that crossbow bolt literally landing right at the base of Dave's feet. Hey, look, there's actually what I'm trying to show you. So there's the contraption with the 4 crossbows coming across it. Above it would have been that chair that's about 6 feet up. Again, the gnome sitting in the chair, very frantically, very deranged, barely bringing a cohesive sentence together. Just yells, "Don't stop! Stop! Don't closer!" Just something's off. As that crossbow bolt lands, the original gnome with you runs up ahead, waving his arms frantically. Lock in place and stay there. And yells, "Don't fire! They're here to help. Don't fire." As she recognizes him, she's like, "Oh." You see her spin her chair around one more time, grabs a big lever, and locks it. She goes, "Safety on." Gets down. The gnome looks at Dave and goes, "I told you, I'd go first. Don't touch anything." And again, he points at the contraption, looks at Dave and goes, "Don't touch. I can already tell you're going to be mischief." Yeah, I really didn't feel like starting combat, so. Now, if you guys want to, you can always roll for initiative at any given time if you want things taken by force.
This is when being a rogue would be fun.
Yeah. As you continue walking through Gnomengarde, for you, Leshira, as the tabaxi, you begin to smell that familiar smell like fresh milk. As you're walking through, get to about, where are you hiding? You're right there, correct? Nope, they're right here. Get to about this T in the road, and this, to your left, you smell like milks, you smell ale, you smell like almost like like. Ever smell like water so crisp that you just like you're drawn to it? That's what's going through. And some of the others, they can smell some of the other things, but not as strongly as you can with your animal instincts. What do you do?
I start to try to slowly walk that way and be kind of not noticeable, just to kind of see what might be in that room. Not touching things, I just kind of like slowly walk there, trying to like look around and see if I can see what's going on.
Okay.
Just very slowly.
So as you fade to the back of the group and you see them walk further up, you follow
like around right there. Yep. I think I'll start looking around.
Okay. So in the room, you see barrels around almost all of the walls. And you can definitely tell that some of them have been there a while, some of them have not been there very long. And they're all labeled exactly what they're at. Do you want to investigate further? You don't see any weapons in the room, you don't see any dangers in the room. It just looks like a cold storage.
I'm thinking, because I also don't want to cause trouble. I can't see anything from where I'm at, can I? Of like, because like the cat's eyes, I'm not sure if I can just kind of see any of the labels from where I'm at.
So, for dark vision, this room is faintly lit. From where you're sitting, you can tell that there's labels on them. You just can't quite make out exactly what each of them read.
Well, I'm thinking if it's just cold storage, they probably don't have anything that would help the party, though.
But it also, some of the smells do smell like home, though.
I know, and it's so, like, drawing, too. I'm just gonna take a big whiff and then try to sneak back to the party so no one saw that I was gone, and hopefully the guy didn't notice that I had left. Be a little stealthy on the way back. I don't think anything will help the party. It just smelled so nice.
Okay. And did you catch back up to the group? Making notes of what you saw. She finally brings you up to the pathway across. To this bridge setup. And the gnome looks at you and goes, we do have to be careful, and you see the waterfall and everything's just misting up. Be very careful on the walkway. On the edge of this is a gnome recluse standing on the edge named Ula and a male named Pog. As they come out, they're told they attack you guys immediately. So go ahead and roll for initiative. Dave's going to be in the back. And actually, let's do this. Actually, as you guys, instead of rolling for initiative, the original looks and he goes, these two are told attack anyone on site because they may be shapeshifters. We've been having that type of issue with someone mysteriously disappearing. I cannot help you, but you can. But if you have a way of making them know that you're not a shapeshifter, you'll be able to pass. So what you guys are allowed to do is you can either do a charisma or deception to trick the gnomes into thinking that you've got an audience. You've got a charisma check or persuasion.
This is before we roll initiative?
Yes.
Is that a D6 still?
Nope, D20.
Oh, D20? Okay.
Yep.
I need to be told dice numbers.
You said persuasion or...
Deception, intimidation, or persuasion.
Oh, great.
I'm going to do an intimidation check. That's my biggest... Oh, not so good. That is only a 7.
That is only a 7.
I did charisma with a 9.
Oh no.
I did intimidation for 13.
Okay. Let's... Okay, and Dave rolled a flat 10. So, with the 7 that you rolled, Fabian, Pog looks at you and he goes, you can't hide from me, shapeshifter. And he goes to swing his sword at you. I'll give you one more check that you can make using those 3 to do a saving check to prove that you are not a shapeshifter.
Okay. I will do intimidation again. And I'll yell out. I guess maybe the first time I tried to yell, but maybe my voice cracked or something. This time I'll say, hold! We are not enemies. And that is a 10.
As the sword begins to come down, she stops it right in front of you, within an inch. If we are not enemies, that does also not make us friends. But you may pass for now. Leshira. Ula, the female gnome, is watching you. And with that failed, she brings up her sword and is going to swing at you. You may make that same save.
I got a 20.
Okay, and what were you doing? Deception, intimidation, or persuasion?
I was doing the persuasion, like the persuasion charisma thing.
Okay.
Seriously, cat, move.
And what did you tell Ula to show that you are not a shapeshifter?
I'm a cute kitty. Of course I'm not going to do bad things here. I just, like... There's no way I'd ever be a shapeshifter. Those evil things would never look this adorable.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. Okay. Dave, with his flat 10, literally just walks up to both of them and goes, "Why, hello, I am just another human. Nothing to see that's weird. I'm just gonna go on my merry way and to continue working on the barter." Valkor, you're 13. You've got the other rock gnome directly ahead of you that's been escorting the entire group, and he handed them a slip of just some sort of paperwork to show who he was, and you saw him whisper something to both of them. So when the gnome comes back, he goes, I told them that you were a test subject for our new shrink ray. Which, by the way, how are you feeling?
Feel tiny, very tiny.
Okay. So with that, you continue going across the bridge. As you guys make your way across, I do need each of you to just make a quick dexterity saving throw. Just from the water and the mist coming across, making it quite slippery.
Is that a 20?
Yes.
Okay. How does that work when your skill has a number and then a plus number and then a rolling a number?
Are you using D&D Beyond or like a physical sheet?
I have the D&D Beyond open
Okay.
right now.
All right.
You should be able to just click on where it says there should be a box of saving throws,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be your ability modifier, and then if you have that saving throw, it'll add in your proficiency bonus.
Yep.
But it's
Oh.
So like
You
if
should just click on the plus, whatever the number is, and it'll
it'll do
roll
all the
it for
math.
you.
Mhm.
Oh, well then I got 21.
I got a 9.
Your dice need to be fired, Shelby.
Yes,
I got-
yes, I do.
you got an 18.
Okay. So with the 18 and the 21, you guys do see Valkor slip a little. And the only thing you can bring it to is, still trying to get used to a smaller body. She's still moving like she did at 10 feet tall, or 9.5 feet tall, or whatever it was.
That was 8.5.
So you guys are able to work and get her steadied quickly before you see her start slipping off of the bridge into the water. The final hurdle that the rock gnome looks at and he goes, well, now that we've almost got the hard part out of the way, we just gotta get you past the blades.
Blades?
Yeah, it's just a security measure. That's really all that is. How do you think we rock gnomes keep from getting stolen from all the time? Let's see here. let's do this. Dave runs ahead. He's looking at the blades, and he notices that they're not quite. If they're spinning, there is a gap of about 1.5 feet wide. On the far side, as Dave's looking, he sees like a lever on the wall. The only thing that you hear is that mischievous laugh, and Dave goes, I can fix this. I've got this. And you see him get on the ground, and he crawls through the blades. Okay. Ooh, that barely passed, but it passed nonetheless. The rock gnome looks at him, and he goes, that is a very strange individual. I was just going to use a mage hand and turn it off for you, but is he always like that?
Usually he's very
yes.
dignified.
He's very dignified.
Usually. He was very, very insistent that he was a dignified person. So I don't know.
Well, okay. You see Dave quickly go through. He crawls underneath the blades, and you hear him get back up and start trying to get the lever pulled off and turned off. After a little bit of some very dignified words, you finally see the blade stop spinning, and he's holding it down, and you hear him yell, "Come on through, guys! I don't know how much I can hold this." And this is what you see the blade stopped at. In this type of...
He pushed the lever down and the blade stopped?
Yes.
Okay.
Think of him like like a rotating door, just with much sharper things to keep people from getting in.
I guess I'll kind of make a dash for it then.
There. Valkor's right there. And Leshira's right. Oh, I already grabbed the Leshira. Okay, so now that we're finally into the main part of the cave, past the danger. The last group I ran this with came in the opposite end. How they got across the river, I don't remember. Okay. So we are now going into... Actually, wait a second. Am I... Yeah, we're where I need to be. Perfect. And downfall of the caves is all sorts of weird. Come on. Alright. So finally, the gnome brings you into the center workshop. and you guys are hearing arguments between a couple more gnomes, and he looks and he goes, Fibblestip and Dabbledop. They're actually the inventors of this little shrink ray. But Fibblestip is working on a sanity ray and wants to build something called I think they call it a straitjacket instead of a sanity ray. As the characters are arguing, they finally realize that you guys have entered this room and are looking around it. And the last part of the argument that you have there that you heard was Fibble looked at Dop and said, if your sanity ray had actually done anything, it wouldn't have caused any issues with our king. It's your fault that he's locked himself into his room with Korbaz. And now we won't talk to anyone. As they say that, they realize that they're now being watched by you. And I'm going to hand the floor over to you guys.
I guess I'll say, what seems to be the problem here?
Problem is my counterpart, Dob, wanted to build a tool to bring back people's sanity, and instead, when he went to test it, he fired it on the king, and now our king is insane and won't leave his chambers. And to make it even worse, the king's assistant is locked in there with him. And it's been like that for a week.
Is there anything we can do to help you fix the device? We're merchants here to acquire rare and wondrous things, but we can set that aside for now and help you with this.
Well, the problem is we need to be able to test the fix on the device on someone that's already insane, and the only person that we know that's insane right now is the king. And then this is one of those devices I keep telling Dop we just need to destroy. Unless we're using it in combat on our enemies, I don't want to have this whatsoever. It's a terrible idea.
Or would you like us to force open the door?
If you could, that would make life great. At least then we could make sure that the king and we make sure that King Nurki is correct, is still okay, and King Korbaz we can hopefully bring back to his right mind.
Okay, I'll look at the party and say, what do you guys think?
He just called both of them king, but before Korbaz was only the assistant.
Sorry, that's my fault as the DM. I didn't have the full name up. So don't look at the gnomes, look at the DM. This is not the idiot that you're looking for.
So, can we investigate the door? Like how the hinges? Does it swing in? Does it swing out? What type of thing is the door made of? You know, like at least get a kind of base idea of what they're why they can't open it.
Yeah, absolutely you could. Is that something that you want to ask one of the gnomes to look at? So you want to go to G14, which is over here. So let's make sure that...
Because, I mean, we can't really decide anything unless we know what we're actually dealing with, right?
Yeah. So let's do. Get rid of these guys.
Just killing people.
Don't need them right now. I can always ram back.
Necromancer.
So, yeah, Necromancer's just a cleric that did his job way too late. So, Dob looks at you and goes, and this is young cat. If you want to investigate the door, follow me. And let's go, let's see, this should be right there. This door should be closed. He brings you over to the doors, and you can definitely tell these are a king's chamber. Like, the engraving is quite ornate. You look at the door pins, and they're quite hefty. But there's no visible lock on the outside of the door. So with this being a king's quarter, you can only assume that the locking mechanism is going to be on the inside of the door. The Dob looks at you and goes, the other entrance to the king's bed chambers has the same exact door setup. You know, the nice double door, same pin, but it only locks from the king's side. It doesn't lock from out here, and we have no way of unlocking it from out here.
Which way did it swing again? For a second I forgot. So if we open the door normally, what way would it swing? Toward me or away?
So what you can tell is looking at the door pins is they're going to swing towards you.
That's a pain.
Well, they're also recessed in about 4.5, 5 feet. So you've got as you're walking around, almost like a good corner. So it's not like it's going to take up the entire hallway. Like it's built to be able to open outward and not block the hall.
I want to go back to the party and let them know what I've seen involving the doors so we can figure out a plan.
Okay.
While she's gone with the gnomes, we're all kind of standing where we was originally at, right?
Okay, so you guys are all going to be kind of like right at the entrance to this room.
Okay. Can I lean down to everyone that's there? So where the gnomes couldn't hear and be like, why do we care? They're king crazy. My original king was crazy. Kings be crazy.
Kings be crazy. Oh.
Like, we came here, out of character, by the way. We came here to get a magical item to defeat a dragon. I'm trying to not be mean, but why do we care about their king being crazy?
Well, I think, yeah, Fabian will turn to and say, kind of whisper, yes, but if we can save their king, they might be more willing to help us.
Too easy. Feel as though they're just going to make us do things, and we still have to give a lot of money to get the item we came for.
Could be that could come to be true. Perhaps I should try and convince them to come out first before we try to break the door by force.
Am I back with the group now?
You would be, yes. It wasn't that far of a walk, maybe 40 or 50 feet.
Alright, so I'm letting him know how that door kind of looks. Like, I have a slight thought in my head, but I don't know if it would work.
What are you thinking?
I'm almost thinking wrapping, like, maybe my whip in one of the sturdy ropes that we have and doing tug of war with it, with all of us. Because, you know, Giant still has giant strength, just in miniature size, like Stitch.
Was just about to ask that. Do I still have the strength?
Yes. The only thing that changed for you is your physical size.
Oh, wow.
All your other attributes stayed the same. So just like Leshira said...
Ah! Stitch.
The craziness that comes about our group.
Okay. Well, how about let's see if we can convince them to come out without breaking the door, and if they don't,
Yeah.
we can bust it down.
This would be a perfect time to have Dave. Dave's very convincing.
Dave's
Okay.
very convincing. Let's do this.
I'll tell Dave, why don't you see if you can convince him to come out before we...
Come see the world's smallest human.
But before I forget, Leshira, did you this door going into the throne room? Did you just check it, or were you just investigating?
I was trying to investigate around to see any little thing that I could see, but...
So you never actually checked the door to see if this one was locked? Because... Okay.
Shut up.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
He's mad! He might not have locked it! Oh my gosh.
You're gonna tell me that these gnomes who say that they're Mad King locked themselves in the room hasn't tried to pull on the door?
They
What
mentioned...
if the gnomes are all nuts and it's the king that's saying?
But they also did say that the throne room and the king's bedroom, which were attached. So... Alright, so... Back to the current thought process. Are you guys going as a group to investigate the throne room and try to get in?
Well, first we were thinking Dave could try to convince him to come out.
Okay, so let me pull up Dave's.
Yeah, pull up your other personality for a second.
Which is ironically is my wife's personality, and then that I'm just trying to play. That's not confusing at all. Alright. Dave looks at the group and he goes, so you finally need someone with a proper human to get someone to come out? Of course.
Sophisticated human.
Well, there's no one better for the job. But then this perfectly sized 5.5 foot tall human. And you see him walk off, just struts.
He was not 5.5 feet tall.
Dave isn't, or human isn't?
Dave isn't.
No, he isn't. But he's not 5.5 feet tall at all. But he's convinced that he is. And from where he's sitting, you guys can see him down the hallway. If you guys are all see, like... You see Dave put his hand up on the door and knock a couple times. Good king! Good king! Unlike Leshira, Dave puts his hands on the rings for the door. Taps him one more time. would like to come in and speak with you. On the count of 3, I shall walk in to the throne room. On 3, he's able to open up the doors without any issues. He looks at you and he yells down there, "There's no one in here." And he just yells that right down the hallway. Do you want me to
join him in the throne room to see what it looks like?
Okay.
Oh, can I come there and start smelling around? Maybe something weird's in the air.
Where did Dave go?
If we're all going, can I grab one of the gnomes and just walk towards the room with everyone else?
Are you grabbing them nicely?
Well, I'm a barbarian giant. I kind of just grab and take them with me.
So let's get. So we want Fabian. At least the nice thing is once things are downloaded, I can move things around quick. And Valkor. Okay. Now immediately you guys do notice that there's the 2 thrones. This guy's not there. But for a throne room, there's not much that stands out. You know, it's if anyone's ever served in one of their king's courts or gone visited, the only thing that stands out is, you know, just the placement of the wall pieces. Now, Fabian, you said you wanted to come in and investigate the throne room. What are you looking for?
Just if there's, first of all, what does it look like? If there's anything strange.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
It's a 15.
As you're working around the room, you get to these gold pillars, and I'm assuming like you're like pressing on the walls or just feeling for any oddities, like.
Well, first I'm just looking to see if anything looks amiss, or just like checking to see if anyone was here.
As you do walk around, you do feel a breeze, like a small, barely noticeable breeze coming from part of the back wall. Can't quite pinpoint where it's coming from, but as you're walking around, you almost did feel like a breeze coming out of a portion of the wall.
Okay, I'm gonna stop when I feel that breeze.
Okay. Go ahead and make one. Being that you're doing it now with, in like a more intention with that. Go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage, just because you kind of know where it's coming from.
That's a 9.
Okay. With an advantage? Oof.
Yep.
Okay.
7 and 8.
Rough. You need to fire your dice. You could have almost sworn that you felt that breeze, but now you're just thinking that maybe the rocks are playing tricks on your senses. Or maybe hanging around a an individual that thinks he's 5.5 feet tall when he's 2.5 feet tall is beginning to mess with your sanity a little. What
Can
is
I
anyone...
kind of feel the wall?
Yeah, you can go ahead and feel the wall.
Press on some of the stones, see if anything happens.
Yeah, we're let's just do this where I've got...
And I'll also kind of speak out to the party and be like, there's something strange here, guys. Come check it out.
Okay. So as you're pressing on the stones, what region? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So imagine this being region 1 right here, region 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll say 4.
Okay, at 4. Alright. As you're pressing on the stones, number 4, go ahead and make a strength check.
Just a straight strength check.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a 5.
Everything just feels solid for you. Let's move over to Leshira. Just while Bogart or Fabian thinks. What are you doing in the room?
I'm currently trying to use like my animal instinct senses. Like I'm trying to smell things, like if the air smells wrong in a way, or like it smells like there may be too many people, or like I'm just trying to figure out if I can smell anything that shouldn't be there. It just doesn't seem right. And I'm also using like my dark vision to see if maybe there's any, like, does that work with like looking at like there's cracks and stuff? If there's like a gap there that shouldn't be there, and it kind of...
If this room was dark, it potentially could, but because there is a lit, a couple lit torches, it won't work. It's usually one or the other. Now with your, let's go ahead and roll you a nature check, just because you're trying to use your animal senses.
Okay, that's a normal one, right?
It's listed as nature, so under your skills in the alphabetical order.
11.
Okay. You do smell, instead of the 4 people that are around you right now, you do faintly smell 2 additional people, but you can't quite determine why or where it's coming from.
Would I be able to tell if it's old or new smells? Like if it seems like it's starting to fade away, as if they haven't been there for a long time?
It's a relatively renewed smell.
Okay, so it's coming and going.
Yeah. So, and then what else did you say you were doing with your animal smells, animal instincts?
I'm trying to basically use sharp eyes and like see if there's any like what would look like hidden cracks and stuff, maybe like along the walls, if it doesn't look like it's fully lined up, like maybe hidden doors. I don't know if that works on it.
So you're using your a keen sight almost. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check as well, and then using that same thing I gave for Fabian. Around. Are you looking at like one particular wall? Are you looking just in general?
I was trying to, I'm trying to see around the whole thing, but I'm mainly focusing on from the middle of the room back. So like the middle sides all the way back around. I'm not doing anything on our half of the room. Okay,
so go ahead and make an investigation check.
Well.
And may your dice be nicer than they are to Fabian.
No. I got a 2.
Which means you rolled a nat 1?
I rolled a 2.
With a +0?
Yes.
Oof. How do I have 3 people with bad dice?
I'm putting this one in timeout and grabbing the other set.
Valkor, is there anything that you want to be doing? Or should we go take a quick 5-minute break where you guys all, give give exorcisms to your
Yeah,
dice.
that one.
I mean, I could just throw it away, but it's on the D&D Beyond, so I don't think I could. But so I brought the gnome with us, correct? Like, was that successful? Do I need to roll for that?
I didn't realize you brought the gnome with you.
Yeah,
Well-
when we were all standing there and Dave had shouted that there was nobody in the room, I kind of just grabbed one of the gnomes and just
Went
took
yoink.
it with us.
Okay. Gnome wouldn't be helpful in this essence.
Yes, he would.
Do that.
He,
'Cause-
he knows that there's another way to the king. He knows that there's a way to the king's bedroom, but all he knows of in the throne room is just this room.
Okay. And he said that that they was locked, that the two kings was locked in the
The bedroom.
yeah. Okay. Can I, so both of them went over to the same wall, right?
Yeah, so they both went over to this back wall.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll
Slain Neil sworn son.
I will Can I put the gnome like next to us and tell him to stay? You know, just in case there might be other things happening. And I'm not very good at figuring anything out. I got strength, and that's about it. So I
Okay.
don't know what I could be doing.
Well, you can give it a try.
Just be like punching the
Even if you're not
walls.
good at it, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
One of the things that you would have seen is you would have seen Fabian trying to push on the walls, and with him not being nearly as physically strong as you didn't see him succeed at it.
And you did call out that there was something weird about that wall, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell the gnome to stay and go over to the wall and just, I guess, push on it instead of hitting it first to see if it will make any noise or move.
Are you gonna push at the same spot that Fabian was trying to push?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. I got a 21.
Someone has a dice that actually likes her. So
Yay.
as you're pushing on that, let's see if this guy will actually come on. It doesn't want to do what I want it to do, so let's just go here. With that push, you feel the door twist open like a hidden bookshelf. And you do see a passageway open up. When that opens up, Fabian, that your feeling of, okay, I wasn't imagining it, finally just comes to light. Should bring right back to where, yep, that brings me where I need to. But let's do this quickly just because I need to get up and stretch my back just because being sick. I'm going to quickly refill my water. Let's take a quick 5-minute break.
That'll work with me.
I always forget how much of a Gnomengarde is like puzzly versus combat-y. Okay, so let's just go this route and this slopes.
This is the, like, making a story game. With other people. Come on. I'll just do it in a short break and then we'll go back. Destroy them all.
No idea how to get so I'm having fun with that. Okay, what?
No one's back yet.
That's why they need to get out. Wait, that actually Thomas's friend was there, the girl.
Look, ready?
I was muted. Are you next up to play? Are you gonna play with us? Maybe.
Okay, but the government, if you come in, you say, you gotta go, you can't live here.
It's a socialist country. Of course they would say that.
Why, hello, Belle. How's my niece doing?
Just to make you a little jealous, I made a
Oh, yum. California roll?
Philadelphia roll. Philadelphia
Nice.
with carrots in it.
So before I space it, I think it was yesterday. Little man is now like walking on his own without having to hold on to the couch as much. So actually,
Yay.
just in the Disorderly Dice server, I actually have a video of him walking.
And now he'll just run around all the time and never stop.
Oh yeah, he's today he picked up a box, carried it across the room, put it in front of the couch, climbed down the box to climb onto the couch.
You're in the doomed phase. Just have fun with that. Just letting you know.
He's not doomed.
Just-
I
No,
enjoy letting
he's
him.
not doomed. You are.
Yeah. Also, fair warning, my 4-year-old was walking and broke his arm. So
Oof.
that's a thing. That's a thing as well. So be prepared for that.
That and collarbones.
Yeah.
I'll have to share the video of him, cause like today he's now crawling up the stairs, and today instead of just crawling up the stairs, my wife uses a CPAP, and there's a gallon of water that's still at about maybe an eighth of a gallon left in there, so about a pound of water, and he's literally carrying that up the stairs as he's crawling. I'm like, why, son? Why?
Because he can.
Yeah, pretty much.
He knew it needed to be refilled and is trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So
All kinds of were in the night.
that's funny though.
They were inciting you.
Why is none of my buttons wanting to work?
Not the burst of the night. The attack.
Aw.
Remember. Verbatim.
Well, I'll have to fix those later. I used to have a... Okay, so let's check this guy. Is Jay's working? No. Huh? When did that break? Okay, well, so... With Valkor's strength not matching her body, she's able to push, and you see the hidden entryway open up, and through it you can kind of hear the crazy King Korbaz, or what you assume is them kind of going back and forth, going, can't let the shapeshifters get us, can't let the shape changers get us, gotta stay locked up, can't let the shape changers get us. With that being heard through the secret tunnel to the King's Chambers, what is your guys' marching order?
Since I'm already there pushing open the wall, I guess I'll go in first.
Okay.
I can be second.
I'll go in after Fabian.
Alright. So let's go knock you down. So Valkor, and this is for anyone, they're gonna have to crawl through this secret chamber, this secret entrance. It's only about a 3-foot tall, but it's the same width as anyone that should be able to crawl through without any issues. So you're looking at about a 3-foot by 4-foot opening.
Should just crawl through it and meow.
You know how fast you're going, just meow? Do I look like a cat to you? Should I be drinking milk out of a bowl? Oh.
It's a good thing we don't have a druid in our team that shapeshifts, huh?
My gosh.
That would have made this whole experience very different.
Been thinking of the whole time.
So Valkor, as you come in on the bed, you see the two kings. One of them is almost looks like he's tied up in place, and he looks at you and goes, "Get me out of here. Please get me out of here." As the rest of you come through, I'm not gonna drag every single one by one. You guys see this, and you see King Korbaz, which you're assuming that's gonna be who he is based on what the other gnomes had said. He's kind of lost his mind. You see him just going back and forth, and you see Nurki tied up on the bed. How do you guys want to handle this?
So you tied up the not crazy one?
So the not crazy one is tied up on the bed.
Then that would be Korbaz.
No,
Nurki was the one that was...
I had him backwards.
Alright, I'm writing that down.
There's so many gnomes and so many little things in here. Like, I think the first thing that threw me off is, like, the last time I ran this, everyone came through a different entrance. So there's like 4 entrances to this area. It's all the matter.
So Korbaz is crazy or Korbaz is sane?
Korbaz is crazy.
Okay.
Nurki is strange. Is not insane. Listen here. I may not have much left in my mind, but I'm gonna enjoy what's there.
I shall call you out on everything, because I'm writing everything down.
I don't blame you. As your older brother, I deserve that. Okay, so Nurki's looking at you and goes, "Please just tell him, can you please convince him that there's no shapeshifter in the cabin? He's convinced that people have been disappearing for weeks." And he's whispering to you, just like barely audible. But it's like, please, there's no shapeshifter. There's no shapeshifter. He's imagining it.
Since I got out first, is there any way to hide?
The only kind of hidden spot is right here, and it would take up the entire secret passageway. So this is what from the bed would have been seen.
Okay.
So it's literally just enough where the kings are the only ones that would really know typically that there's this entranceway right there. But you know that your counterparts are going to be coming in right after you. But yeah, there's not much hidden space whatsoever.
And I assume as soon as he sees us, it's going to be a great interaction, I guess.
So Nurki, the one tied up, is looking at the door, and let's just go ahead and I'm gonna put in the gnome king right here. Let's just use him. Why not? And he's like pushing against the door, trying to keep it where people can't open it. Okay, so this is the gnome king right there. So the crazy one. Here's where you're at, and Nurki's tied up on the bed. Okay.
Okay. I guess I'm going to, tell them to stop. And, I guess kind of shoo them back so we can discuss who would probably be the better stealthy one to be able to get the not Crazy King.
All right, so
First?
you're going back into the throne room
Yeah.
before anyone else goes. Okay, so I'll just there. So you're right there. So Fabian hasn't quite started climbing through yet. You guys are all in the throne room. So you can relay and you can go ahead and role play out how you guys are planning this one.
Okay. One king's tied up on the bed. The other king is holding the door, concerned about shapeshifters. I feel though we should grab the other king. He's begging to be let go. But I don't want to deal with the crazy king. He could take off our heads. Who thinks they could go in there and grab the one tied?
I could stealth in there and then use my cat claws to quietly basically cut the thing without needing to pull anything out of a sheath or anything. I can just use my claws to rip him open the ropes and bring him back. If I stay in the, stay low to the ground as a kitty cat and just kind of be quiet pod.
Are you pretty good at sneaking around?
The stealth.
I think so. It's pretty high stat. I snuck around the woods all the time and no one ever saw me.
I have a +3. Can someone beat that in
Yeah,
stealth?
5.
Okay, I've got a +5 too, but yeah, you can go ahead then. See if you can untie him. Yeah.
That's D20.
Yep. So
Would
So yeah,
that be
go-
sleight of hand as well?
yeah, so if you were to untie them, it'd be a stealth check to get up to the bed, and then a sleight of hand to untie. If you want to cut through the rope, I'm gonna have you roll a secondary stealth check for that, just because there's gonna be additional noise.
Okay.
Okay.
So I start with the first stealth.
Yep. So the first stealth will get you through the little opening,
Oh, heck
around,
yes.
and over to the bed where the crazy king.
What'd you
I
get?
can't see that.
I got a 24.
Nice.
A 19 plus 5. Okay, so your natural instincts, even as a kid, as you got out of the house to cause mischief, all of that's come back. Like, you're as silent can be. Your footsteps make no noise. You get up to Nurki and go, okay, now here's the choice for you. Are you going to either 1, cut through the rope, or 2, are you going to try to untie the rope?
What does the knot look like on this rope? Does it look like one that would be a pain in the neck to sit and undo? And how thick is this rope that we're looking at as well?
The rope is more like a twine. You look at it and it's one of those double knots like you'd use to tie your shoes.
Why is he stuck? Is he an idiot?
So as you're looking down the rope for him, it's going around his shoulders like this, but it's also keeping his hands at bay, but the knot's right here. So he can't just get this. Make sense?
So is it wrapped around his body more than once, so I'd have to cut it multiple times?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. I want to say I'm just going to try to go for speed and just claw the ropes down.
Okay, make a second stealth check.
Be my friend. I got another 19. So I got 24.
Okay. As you come down with your claws, you see Nurky flinch up and just goes, "Don't cut me, don't cut me, don't cut me." And you're able to cut clean through those ropes. He almost lets out a, you know, like one of those little like happy little shrieks, and you just go, okay.
All right.
And you help him tiptoe back to the throne room. Okay. Back in the throne room, you guys see Leshira come back with Nurky. I'll just make a fat goblin form, or fat gnome. Okay. What's the next play? How do you
Asking
guys...
the king what's up. Like,
Nurky looks at the group. Man. He goes, Korbaz, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, has been utterly convinced that there's some sort of shapeshifter in the caves. Because he thinks that gnomes have been going missing. I haven't heard any rumors, but I also haven't asked for anyone to just double check the, you know, the roster. And I
why
just
not?
would,
Sorry.
why not? Just because I haven't seen anyone going missing. I haven't even heard any rumors of it. But the only thing that happened is about the same time as Fibble and Dob started working on, you know, all sorts of new inventions. They wanted to figure out a way to make it so that way if we had enemies come in, we can make them feel like they lost their minds. So I don't know if it's coincidence, but either way, Korbaz is convinced that there's some sort of shapeshifter.
Well,
And he
let's,
refuses to leave this room.
let's get you back to the gnome tinkerers, and maybe you can explain to them the situation, King.
Well, if I can get back to the Tinkers, but maybe hopefully you guys can convince, because I've been trying to convince him for, oh jeez, like I said, 3 weeks, and it wasn't until last week where he finally just, he had to keep me safe, so he locked both of us in the room and then proceeded to tie me up when we were sleeping, because he wanted to make sure that the royalty and then didn't get hurt.
Valkor, I think we have a job for you.
Yes.
Would it be possible for you to convince the king that you've been hired by the gnome group as his guard so that he can safely come out to the Tinker Workshop? And so that they can bring the list and show him who's missing. You know, you're the guard. They shrunk you so that you could be super giant strength, but be be able to fit in the tunnels in order to just guard him. And they'll get him to open his door so that he can talk to his council and figure out a plan to make sure everyone is safe.
I can intimidate him into it. But that would have to be probably on the other side of the door instead of just appearing behind him.
Yeah, you'd probably have to also bring Nurky with so that he'd have someone he at least knows to kind of help out with it. Because I don't think in his right mind he realizes everything. Or Nurky could say that he was part of the hiring process to get you, here. And like with the other tinkerers who are worried. So like a couple people he might trust. But that's kind of my thought, is we could use you as a lure to get him out.
With me being a smaller giant, that would classify as a shape shifter, kinda, wouldn't it?
Do we still have those two that person that shrunk you down to begin with? Let me see, where's his name again?
They're in the Tinker Lab right now.
Yeah, if you bring one of him with, and he can also basically vouch for your identity as being the one who actually shrunk you, so that he would be part of the process to make this new King's Guard.
So we can send the one that we have back in the room, because if he's not there, I'm sure even in a crazy state, he would know, like, someone took him, and then go to the door with one of the tinkers and just try to intimidate him. We could do that.
Yeah, and have the tinker also joining in with the persuasion, maybe either side of it, being like, I'm here to help you. Come out so I can defend you.
Nurky looks at you and he goes, so you freed me just to send me back into that room?
Yes, you're welcome.
I'm guessing you're gonna tie me up again just to make this all the more believable?
You could sit on the bed and just be sitting there. Maybe in his mind he didn't actually tie you. And you're just there as emotional support.
Kings do be crazy.
I resemble that remark.
Go.
You just see Nurky shake his head, and he goes, I hope your plan works.
Not like the king was hurting you anyway.
We do too.
Alright, so you see him go back through the hole and back around. Okay. To make the plan work, where you at, Valkor? You're right there. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Yep. There's a downfall of the three-dimensional things. Alright, so you're going back to the... yeah. So, as you walk back out to the... I'm guessing you guys are all going back out to the Tinker's group. And Leshira, you're heading with, so let's go this route. Fabian, are you staying in the throne room, or are you heading with the rest of the group?
No, I'll go with the rest of the group.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you'd stay back just in case you needed to rescue the one.
Oh, that might be a good idea. Like, you stay by the wall door thing, just in case the plan goes south.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
I was gonna say, Dave was gonna look back and he goes, well, maybe just need another proper sophisticated human to stay back. I mean, you guys have the the brute strength and the muscles to get this all done. I could be diplomatic.
Yeah, good idea, Dave. Why don't you hang back with me?
Okay. So let's grab Fabian over here. Okay. So as the others head back, first thing that you see Dave do in trying to be proper, he's like, I've always wanted to sit on a throne, figure out what true sophistication feels like, and you just see him just sitting it comfortable. We'll make sure that the king gets cared for.
And his seat is warm.
And his seat is warm, yes. Alright, so Leshira, you come back up to Dabble, and I'm assuming that you're telling her the plan of accompanying him to the king's bedroom and saying and vouching for Valkor, correct?
Yeah.
Just because of the oddity that this goes for, go ahead and roll a persuasion check. She is kind of skeptical about if this is something that would even work.
Looks like a 9.
Don't you have a modifier in your persuasion as well?
Oh, wait. I wasn't looking at my one thingy. Oh, you mean the plus spot? No, I have 0.
That is...
I have nothing to do with, like, talking at all. All of the talking things are 0.
Okay, so you've got no charisma.
No, I have none at all. I'm just adorable.
Okay, then. Well, luckily you still rolled higher than me. Not by much, but you rolled higher than me. I rolled an 8.
If it wasn't gonna work, I was just gonna intimidate her into it.
If she had rolled 1 lower, it wouldn't have worked.
Aw.
So she looks at you and goes, well, I haven't tried that yet. Why not? She looks at you and she goes, well, follow me and I'll show you how to get to the king's bedroom. Okay, so let's see here now. That's going to be this little... It's not a... She brings you down this little hallway right here. And she gets up to the door and you hear her just rapping on it. King Korbaz! King Korbaz! We've hired a bodyguard for you. You hear a gruff sound. Why would I need a bodyguard? Well, you said there was a shapeshifter. We wanted to make sure you were safe so you could finally come out. We found a giant and we shrunk her down so she'd fit in the caves. As she's saying that, she's waving you over. Valkor. Miss Giant, I don't remember getting your name. Can you introduce yourself to the king?
I'm Valkor. I protect the little.
You can kind of see the door inch forward just a hair, just to see like an eyeball to pop through. Prove it. So for you, your goal is to prove to Korbaz that the shapeshifter is either not there or has been killed, or you really are hired. So I'll let you choose a deception check, persuasion check, or let's go performance.
I'll do a deception check.
Okay.
So would that be convincing him that I was hired? Because it's convincing lie, right?
Yep, it could be that, or it could be that because you guys have yet to see a shapeshifter or come across it. You could be deception saying, "Yep, I killed it."
But would we need the body? I'm not playing dead.
Just remember, "Let the body sit the floor and it's raining men" is the same song, just two different vitalities. Fabian's like, "What did I just hear?"
We got an 11. What the beat?
What the beat? Korbaz looks at and he goes, "So what did you tell So you told Korbaz that you were hired to protect him."
I was hired. I don't know. I was hired to protect from shapeshifter. I haven't seen one yet, but I need the kings protected for my job to be completed. Can't protect the kings unless I see them.
Korbaz shuts the door and he yells, he goes, "King is safe in room." "I don't believe you."
Shoot.
There's a way around that.
Okay.
We have party members on the other side. They can sneak through that tunnel and go, "Boo. Oh, look, you're not protected in your room."
I will let you guys roleplay this out.
That could be very dangerous.
It would work though. It'd prove to him that he's not safe in there. It would just be who would be the best to go through in there. And I don't know. I seriously think Dave would be the best one to roll as a shapeshifter, but then he would totally get attacked.
I mean, him saying that he's a human might, you know. But at the same time, we didn't check to see if he had any. Well, no, that he has any weapons on him. We did see an automatic crossbow.
Risky thing. The only other thing would be that distraction at the tunnel. If we can time it at the right time, which way does this door swing open? Is it open toward us, open away?
This one opens away into the room.
Oh, girl, we can totally body slam it.
Very true.
So if we can time it so that he's away from the door so he's not getting hit, so he's distracted by hearing stuff in the tunnel coming out, we can slam the door open and bum rush him and grab the Mad King. And at least pin him down so he can't hurt anyone. What do you think?
Didn't you say they were working on a straitjacket? Can we grab that? Is that done?
Oh, yeah.
As you say that,
because I have a whip, I can just lasso him around, get him like tucked in, and we can grab the straitjacket and go shoot. Because you're strong enough, he wouldn't be able to break out of your hold either.
No. Unless I have a terrible roll, and then.
Dabble looks at you, Valkor, and goes, "How did you know about the straitjacket?" "Oh, wait a second. You guys overheard us arguing, didn't you?"
Was it a secret? Yells quieter. You argue loudly.
She goes, "That may work," and she kind of waddles off, comes back a few minutes later with what we would recognize as a straitjacket. What you guys would have seen is something with a, a shirt with 12-foot long sleeves. We think that this should work. The entire principle is put them in, and goals to maybe get them where they're stuck like this. Yeah. Well, I was gonna call it my hug myself jacket, but I haven't fully figured out the use for it because it really doesn't make me feel loved.
It's calming.
It's calming. So, what do you need me to do?
Have the jacket ready. I would stay back though so that you're not in danger. But we can call for you as long as you're close by.
I'm in danger.
No, we're going to make sure you never are. That's why I want you to stay back as well, just because you never know.
Okay, do I need to go tell your counterparts you're doing something, or what are you planning on doing?
I think that... Valkor, do you want to come with me to go talk to Fabian about these ideas, or do you want to stay here and just keep them...
I can play distraction. I bang on wall.
Bang on. Use your muscles and just beat on everything.
But you'd have to find another wall section to make him move away from the door. So it'd still have to go into that throne room.
Yeah.
So I think we should go meet up in the throne room where he doesn't know that we can get there, and he can't listen through the walls either fully. And see if Fabian will agree with kind of our idea, or if he has something else he can come up with.
Sure.
And Dave.
And Dave.
And Dave. Okay. So,
Oh, King Dave.
that 10 or 15 second walk, you get in here, cliff notes of what you need them to do. So, So, Leshira, being that it sounds like you're the ringleader right now, what are the cliff notes?
Alright, so we're planning to have one or both of you go in through the tunnel and cause a distraction to bring the Crazy King away from the door, so that me and Valkor can basically slam that door open and go in, and all of us can work together to grab him and hold him down so he doesn't hurt anyone. And we're going to do this all at the same time, so he would be too stunned to actually attack anyone.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
How will we know it's at the same time?
Do we have a way that we can do timers or a clock thing?
It is.
Nope.
I bang on wall. I can bang on the door. And that would be like a, hey, time to get going.
Yeah. The only other thing would be like, it took 15 seconds to get here. How long would it take for them to get to the tunnel? Like, what, 5 seconds?
So the tunnel's right on the backside of the thing right here, right?
Yeah.
To get through the tunnel and back up, imagine it as a round of combat, because you have to get on all fours, you have to crawl through, and you have to stand back up. So in combat, typically, when you're knocked prone and you're on all fours, it takes half your movement, which is about 3 seconds, in order to get back up. So I'm going to use that same principle here, okay?
We also didn't ask if the Mad King is still by the door. Because he slammed the door. So, in character...
You can assume that he's still by the door.
Okay.
I wonder if maybe we can do a count. So like a count of, from when we leave the room to a count of 60. So they go in and... we count to 60, they go through the thing, do their like 3-second thing, and then we slam the door. And then we slam into the door. So to try to time it so that he has enough time to look and start heading that way, and then we go through the door. Because I don't know how... breaking down a door shouldn't take more than a few seconds either.
You are correct. You just need to have a good strength check.
Yeah.
And
that smirk.
Well, it's part of it is I've been laughing at your dice rolls tonight.
Hey, I've had 19s and a 20 so far.
Yeah, but the others have not.
The highest one I've had so far will be, I think, a 17.
I will be a Buffy Khajiit for you. I mean,
one.
Tabaxi.
Jeez. Your persona.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I will let you guys put your plan into motion, and I'm just gonna sit back and wait to this. For just when it gets time to knock down the door, I will have you roll a strength check. Okay. So, for the person that's sneaking into the room, need to roll a stealth check. Especially since you're trying to catch the king off guard. The insane one. And let's see how.
I didn't even check to see if Fabian was stronger than me, if he'd be better.
Oh, it's okay.
Hey, little pretty cat.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so who's sneaking into the room? Is it Fabian or is it Leshira? I think I heard
What do you
both.
think? Because
Thought
we
I
only
was
need
sneaking.
one.
So I'm
Yeah.
sneaking in the tunnel, right?
Yeah, I think that's what we're kind of thinking.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. I'm not that strong.
Okay.
That is a...
Are you playing in the dark, Bogart?
No, it's just I guess the sunlight's getting low. That's a 20.
Oh,
Okay, so you're able to, again, all that ranger training definitely comes in handy for you. You're able to sneak right in. You're looking again. Gurky sees you, and he knows that he just needs to play the current course, that he's still tied up. Okay. So step one, we have Fabian snuck into the room. Step two is Valkor breaking down the door, correct?
both of us working together on that one just in case.
Okay, so with breaking down the door, being that you got two people working on it, both of you roll strength checks with advantage.
Okay. Oh, that's just that plus thing on there, huh?
Yep.
Okay, so that's okay. 1 second. I got 15.
I got a 14.
Was that with your advantage?
Yeah.
Your dice need to go to jail.
Well,
I need a new set.
the nice thing is I was going to do a combined strength modifier of 25. So when you guys did that roll, you roll the combined 29. So yeah, a 15 and a 14. Yeah, you still
And the
passed.
cat was stronger. Yay.
Meow. All right. So you guys are able to get the door pushed in, and like you hear the lock like crack, and the door swings into the room. That brings us to phase 3, which was
We're going to try to catch him and basically get him stuck so that he can't hurt anyone. So I could, if he's close enough, I can use my whip and try to entangle him.
okay.
I feel like that might be the fastest if it works.
That's what I thought. So for that, roll in acrobatics. Because you're taking that, because actually roll the hit with your whip, okay? Even though we're not going to be doing any damage with it, I'm going to use that. That's going to be the easiest way.
Oh, so not acrobatics? What's
Correct. Just
am I doing...
on your actions, where you have your whip, if you have it equipped, you should be able to hit that hit/DC. It may say like +5, it may say +4, whatever it may be.
Oh, so it's a D4 dice? Which one's a 4?
No, that's your damage.
No, just an attack roll.
The attack
So
roll.
That's a 6 then?
Good.
Like,
Uh,
which number dice am I using?
It's a
D20.
D20.
Okay, so 20 and a 5. Okay. 1 second. I got 16.
All right. So for him, that would have been a 14. So that would hit. You see that whip come across. In how long are whips typically? What, 10 feet, roughly, off the top of my head? Let's
don't
double.
know.
Let me just double check my sanity.
Oh, that's a fail.
What, me checking my sanity?
Yeah.
Listen here, when I want your opinion. So, yeah, it's a 10-foot reach. So you're able to get that as soon as that door busts down. That feline reflex, you're able to get the whip out and get it wrapped around. You know that with your whip was originally designed to do damage, not to fully. I'm gonna call it a grapple, but entangle. Excuse me. So you got maybe 6 or 7 seconds to do what you need to do next to keep him from hurting something. So what was your next plan of attack on this? No, with the whip.
Valkor, can you run over there and keep holding his arms in place now that he's trapped? Because he's not gonna be able to break out of you holding him. So like, give him a hug or something and I will call in the straitjacket gnome to get him fully settled. That'll just stop him just long enough.
Not that.
What do you think?
Along with it.
Yeah. So I guess I'll kind of run over behind him and just bear hug.
Bring in the jacket!
Bring in the jacket. I usually hear people say send to the clowns, but
Oh, they're already in here.
You see the king kind of, let me out. We gotta get rid of the shapeshifter. After, I don't know, let's see, where's my... About 2 or 3 minutes of fighting, Valkor, your strengths begin to, you're holding him in place, but you're beginning to feel him wrangle out. You guys finally get him to the straitjacket, and Dapple looks at him and goes, there is no shapeshifter. Why do you think there's a shapeshifter? Korbaz looks at it and goes, I just know. I think I've seen gnomes going missing. Have you not noticed? Dapple looks at him and goes, no. But we also tend to stick to our own little regions, I'm in magic items. You've got the individuals working on weapons, and you've got the kitchen. So we don't, unless we're going to the kitchen to eat, why would we? And feel free for you guys, as they're arguing back and forth about this, feel free to hop in at any time. If you guys are, what are you guys thinking as you guys see these two gnomes arguing back and forth? One of them in a straitjacket, one of them after putting the straitjacket on the king.
He might not be crazy. Like, there might actually be a problem, and they don't have the system set up to actually see where the problem is hitting. So he might not be crazy, they just might be stupid.
Can I pull the gnome that was a tinkerer aside? Is he still in the room?
Yeah, Nurky. Yep, Nurky is there. Yep.
And then I asked him, what is something that only the king that's not in the straitjacket would know from?
That's a question I was not expecting at all today. something that only the kings would know.
And would this tinkerer gnome know something, some anecdote? You don't have to tell me what it is, but if you think that they would know something. Basically, I'm trying to check to see if the king that said he wasn't crazy is actually the king.
Gotcha. As the king is looking at you, as every gnomish king, we usually like to keep the kings in pairs. So instead of it's like a checks and balances, so that way we rule fairly. To signify the current pair of kings, all of us are each given specific rings. And he pulls one out, and you look at the ring that he has on as well as the other one, and it's got, like in this case, but them being rock gnomes, the face of a mountain, but also almost like an explosion on it. Because we tend to, our group works a lot with magic items. We tend to cause we've had a few explosions. That's what they've chosen to give us. But as far as to truly say, yep, we're a definite king, there really isn't a way, just because the kings we're more of a headship to act as like ambassadors to other countries.
Okay.
AKA your DM's coming with shit on the fly.
Can I
Is there
take a look at the king that wasn't trapped?
Yeah.
The king not in the straitjacket, just to give him a vibe check.
Absolutely, go ahead and you can definitely give him a vibe check. That just roll a perception check.
That's nat 20, so that's a 24.
You can definitely tell from what he was saying that everything he said is factual.
Okay.
So with okay, so anyone else interjecting as far as this conversation's happening?
Is there a head for each department of gnome? Like someone who is actually supposed to keep track of their underlings, so they'd have a tally sheet or a check-in guide or something showing if they were there that day or if they didn't check in, or like a barracks order room showing who wasn't in their bunk that night. Anything like that from any of the heads to show if people are starting to go missing?
Nurky looks at you and he goes, "That is something that I've been requesting for a while. I think people keep track on their own, but they don't actually get audited or checked regularly. So there probably is one. I just haven't seen one."
You haven't heard from any of the groups maybe that they haven't seen someone they're used to seeing around?
Not that I've seen, but again, the last week I've been in here, but I haven't asked for a current duty roster.
Is there a great room where you could bring all the gnomes together and get a head count?
The dining room across the way.
Is that something that maybe we could do to see if there are gnomes missing? Would the kingdom itself know how many gnomes are supposed to be there, period?
Each area should know how many are there, yes.
So if we just did a mass head count, we'd see if there were some missing.
Yeah. We can either bring people into the quarters, which is right next to the experimenting room where you guys just came from, or we can go all the way over to the kitchen, maybe no, they keep track of how much food they make, but that's all the way back to where you guys came in originally. But if you want, I can make sure all the gnomes are in the quarters tonight, and say the next hour to do head count.
I think maybe forcing a curfew and having everyone go to their rooms for a head count might help. And then I also, I mean, everyone can stay here, but I also kind of want to ask the kitchen if they've had different amount of food than they normally would be serving, if it's slowly been going down as less people are taking anything. It's probably gonna be a long walk there and back though, so.
I'm guessing you're talking about the kitchen saying that out loud, thinking, or saying that out loud
Yeah.
instead of just thinking. So, as you say that, Dapple looks at you and she goes, "The kitchen is across the bridge, and that series of halls that you came through. It's at the far end of that series of halls. So that means past the cold storage, past the automated crossbows, and there's another room that you hadn't fully experimented with yet. You know, it'd probably take, if you had another gnome come with you, probably 20 or 30 minutes.
Is that just one way or there and back?
Probably there and back, assuming you didn't have any weird encounters or weird conversations.
Do we know if the king was shot with the crazy ray?
Korbaz was, because they did say that they did fire the crazy ray on him. They just don't know if it was effective on him, because he's been going on and on about shapeshifter. They think that it was, they just don't know for fact.
Is he the only one that was hit with that crazy ray? There has been no other test subject?
He was an accidental test subject.
With questions like that, clarify if you're asking it as a player or as a character.
That's me asking it as Leshira. Like,
Okay.
I'm thinking about this, like, was anyone else used on this?
So as you say that, Dapple looks and he goes, "We have only fired it the one time at the king, and with how much he was going on and on about a shapeshifter, and we haven't been able to get everyone together, we haven't tested it at all."
Do you have an animal you don't care about?
No.
Do you have any mice? Do you have a rat problem?
I was gonna say, do you really want to be firing a crazy ray at animals?
We'll keep them in a tiny room and we can shoot them if they're crazy.
I mean, let's see here.
I mean, do something that you would be eating anyway, so that when you kill it, it's gonna be dinner that night.
Do you have uncrazy ray?
It doesn't work on me, I'm sorry.
Well, now shoot the king.
We were planning on testing it, but I don't know if we want to test another unproven thing on the king.
Well, you shot him once. Shoot him again.
It was
Could
an
it get
accident.
Like, how much worse could it get at this point?
There's a lot.
Yeah, that's
You can elect another one.
Oh gosh.
That's a way of getting killed. Well, let's go ahead and, just to make life simple, even if we call curfew in an hour, the kitchen will be in their rooms. like everyone's gonna come to the same area, so you could talk to everyone all at once.
Yeah.
So as she says that, she goes to Dob and goes and tells him to go throughout the cavern and say, hey, curfew in an hour. We need everyone back in their rooms. What she then does is, let's see here, it's right there, and that just goes right here. Get rid of all these guys. She brings you to the room where all of the dwarfs will be coming in. That way, she goes, this is the bunkhouse, and you see, once you get into the room, you see 5 sections, each section with 4 beds, so 20 beds back in this area. And she's like, this tonight will tell us if everyone's here or not. Okay.
Are we all going?
Oh, you
Following
guys,
her?
yeah, you guys could all be following her.
Can I still be holding the king, like bridal
Absolutely.
style?
Absolutely, you can.
You must see that your people are here.
I was hired to protect.
I was
Yeah.
hired to protect.
Well, that'll definitely show them.
So, say fast forward the time, fast forward that hour. As the gnomes all come into court, it's about 55 minutes before the temporary curfew. And the gnomes are filing in 1 or 2 at a time. And about 5-10 minutes passes, and all of the beds are filled except for 3. And the look on Dabble's face goes, oh no, maybe the king was right. There are people missing. And with that, we're actually gonna end session.
Hey,
Knowing that 3 people are missing.
Cliffhanger.
Yep, exactly.
Good.
Being that we got the puzzly side of Gnomengarde done, there is combat. Now the question is where?
About to be right here if you ain't gonna let it keep going. Missing, and you're missing, and you're missing.
Yeah. But
can I just carry the king from now on? That would be great.
that'd be absolutely. I really
Strap him onto your back like Dave.
Stop it.
Dave's
Frickin'
on my shoulder.
Dave.
I got a cape. I could get one of those like baby harnesses things and keep him on my chest. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. That is all too funny. Let's see here.
Just carry all the
Yeah.
tiny people around.
Yeah, that's Gnomengarde's like, I always forget, like, you get some areas that are high combat, some that are more puzzly based. And it doesn't help that, I started off stupid slow. Am I out of my mind? Is Jay not
You really
active?
asked that?
Yeah, I suppose anyone that knows me any amount of time knows that I'm
We're all
I really
crazy.
am.
Makes
don't have to
life
be
funner.
So, is Jay not active? I thought I saw him go live. Let's go. Oh, search and filter. Haha. Lord. Well, Let me find where his channel is. At least get ready to raid into Lord Gazumba. Is he active? Nope, he is not active. So, well, with that, everyone, I'll just quickly run through all of our different partners, and then we'll call it an evening. If you're looking for some old D&D 1E and 2E content, highly recommend checking out Jay Gazumba. They've got like the oldest Greyhawk campaign going on. It's like 45 years and going. They do a lot of in-person games, as well as multiple streams throughout the week. One of our partner communities, Loot Die Repeat. They stream every Tuesday, 7:30, and they, by themselves, they call themselves the Bunch of Schmucks that just like to sit around and tell epic stories and have a lot of laugh. They've got some great content, highly entertaining. Kind of local to us, Guild Superior up in northern Minnesota, right on the Lake Superior. Just another diverse storytelling group. And if you need any artwork done, we have Art of Mike Disney. He does a lot of illustrations, painting, sculpting, miniatures, and I believe he does a lot of commission work. And finally, Lord Ashes. He helps with a lot of the Tailspire plugins that we use on this community, and just a fantastic individual all their way around. But until next time, we will be streaming again in 2 weeks on February, 22nd for Dragon of Icespire Peak, and then Wednesday we have Age of Ashen Scale at 5 p.m. Central. We look forward to joining you again. We hope you guys all have a great day.